Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. So for the practical side, now I'm gonna solve with you the task we are having to in order to practice on the inheritance to solve the issues related to inheritance concept, the inheritance feature. We have mainly those two for now. We have two main topics via which we are seeing two different views of inheritance. First of all, actually, for the inheritance, it is a context of utilizing and inheriting features and behavior from a superior level. Say, in the example of a human being, a father and a mother, they do inherit their features and characteristics to their descendant, their sons. We are talking about an overloading and an overriding technical approach. As per the definition, the overloading is a context of reutilizing and regenerating methods with the same name but with different parameters. Overriding is the same context but in different classes. So let's dig in and we'll understand more these contexts of inheritance and the overload and overriding. For the first task, we are required to calculate the area of shapes areas, but using the inheritance, demonstrating the inheritance as a technology, as a technique of the implementation. Let's dig in. And we'll come back for the next tasks. So let me swap the view into the online compiler where we are going to solve the thing. Great. So, yes, let me maximize the view. I believe it's clear. Now. Yeah, I maximize the view. So, for the task, actually, we are required to calculate the areas, use inheritance to calculate the shapes areas. Good. So what we are going to do is to manifest the inheritance, and the process is to calculate shape area. Shapes, the shapes we are required to do to calculate the areas are rectangle and square, but the concept will be applicable for others also, other shapes means. So our namespace. So it's std. I'm using an AZERTY keyboard, sorry. Space is good. So my first class, I'm gonna say shape because it would have the appropriate, the necessary characteristics which are common between all shapes, like the borders, number of borders, maybe width and height, and so on. So the class shape would hold the common features of the shapes. And I want to create a class for the rectangle. Let's say rectangle first of all, a rectangle. Here it starts and here it ends. Another class for the square, for shapes, sorry. So the square starts here and gets and then here. The class rectangle and the class square, both of them, they are inherited from the class shape. To manifest this inheritance, easy. Other than name, the class name, the inheriting class, colon, name of the class, the superior, the superclass, the father class, the inherited class. In this case, is the shape. The same way here, because the square also is inherited from the shape. So shape, yes. خلاص done. So now for the process inside, I'm going to start with the common features because every shape has, let's say, width. For our cases here, the rectangle and the square, we say width. Width and height. Both of them, they are, let's say, float or decimal. I'm going to declare them as decimal float. I'm going to float. Very easy. Yes, same thing for this variable. Yes, and they are public. I'm going to set them as private first of all. Private. Later on, I'll tell you how to utilize them. Good. So the width and the height, they are common features for the two objects, the rectangle and the square. In here, in this rectangle, I'm gonna declare a method, which is actually procedure. Let's say procedure. I'm gonna say square area. So it's a method that has to start here. I'm going to declare its start, and then I'm going to do the process here inside the class. It's in class. It's an inline method, sorry. So I'm going to use this width, this height here. I'm going to declare a float. I'm going to say SA. A rectangle here, sorry. RA, rectangle area, and here it's rectangle also. Rectangle area. So RA, that receives, okay, the RA, I'm going to declare a new statement. RA equals the width, copy, multiplied by the height. This is the rule of calculating the area width by height. Semicolon. Done. I finished. So I'm gonna display only. So cout less than less than. I'm gonna say this the rectangle area is I'm gonna say RA less than and good done. The same process. I'm gonna copy paste here inside the square. So here's square. Good. SA, I'm gonna say SA also. And since this square class, it inherits from the shape, so I'm gonna use the width and the height. Good. Now here, square area is, let's say SA. This SA here, it is this SA. Great. Now I'm done. Still the main only. Okay, inside the main, I'm going to instantiate the necessary classes in order to launch the process and get the output. All I need are the two classes, the rectangle and the square. The shape, I'm not going to declare. Why? Because it is inherited in both, in the rectangle and also inherited here in the square. So let's dig in. Instantiation of the square, let's say. So I'm going to say the same square, obj sq. So let's say square. And I'm going to say rectangle. What is this rectangle? It is the class rectangle. So I'm instantiating this class rectangle, creating an object from this class. I'm going to say obj rq, rc. Okay, good. Done. Through the object for the square, I'm going to reach the method square area. Okay, so obj sq dot. Told you I'm using an AZERTY keyboard. So yes, obj sq dot square area is the method we define inside this square class. It's a method, so simple parenthesis, close. Good. The same thing for the rectangle. So obj copy obj rc dot, we go up, dot the rectangle area method. Is the same thing here. Paste, then simple parenthesis, semicolon, terminate. Good. Let me execute now. Run. Errors. That's great. Yes. Starting with float shape width is private. Yeah, that's good. That's the first thing actually we have to declare. Remember that we are using the width and the height from a superclass, but inside a subclass. To do so, the visibility has to be protected. Protected means the variables, the objects, the components declared as protected, they are to be utilized in the same scope or in the inheriting components or instances. Let's dig in again. So here they are utilized in the subclasses as protected. Yes, valid. Let's see now. Run. Less errors, but still we have errors. Class, semicolon to terminate. Same here. Semicolon to terminate. Then third one, semicolon to terminate. Let's try again. One. Less errors. We see the first one. Int main, he's saying in function main, void square is private. Yeah, exactly. So the method is talking about the method, square area. Yeah, both of them, the rectangle area and the square area, we have to declare them as public in order to use them inside the main. They are public. They use the protected variables, and since they are public, we call them inside the main. Let's do that. Less one. Very easy. The square area is 0. The rectangle area is 0. Very easy because we did not initialize the width and height. Let's do that. I'm going to say no. I'm going to create a method. I'm going to create a method here, which is a constructor inside the shape. It's a constructor, so it has the same name as the class, but it has to have a scope. Good. In between, I'm going to initialize the width. I'm going to say scene. I'm going to reveal the scene width, semicolon, scene height. I'm going to put them from the keyboard. Just a clarification message. I'm going to say cout. So now I'm going to say enter the width value. Great. Less than and L. And L, yes, here. Then cout also. Cout also. Enter the height value less than and L. Great. Good. Yes, let's do that now. It's a constructor. I created it inside the shape and I did not call. Let's run again. It is taking time. Let me stop and copy the code for any circumstances. I'll be able to use it outside in another compiler in order not to repeat it. Yeah, compile one. I'm going to cancel. I'm going to declare the shape as public to avoid any waste. We have an issue, is saying cout is not recognized. Yes, cout, T, spelling. Yes, here it is. Enter the width value. I did not call the constructor, but automatically it has been recognized. I'm going to say 5. The width is 5. Enter the height. I'm going to give, for example, 4. Okay. Enter the width again, because 2 classes we have. This is for the square. I'm going to say 5, and the width is the 5 also. Square, they are equal borders. Okay. The square area is 20, 5 by 4. I missed the order. The square is the first. Let's do it again. And the width for the square is 5, let's say. And the height for the square is 5 also. And the width for the rectangle, let's say 2. And the height for the rectangle, let's say 10. Okay. The square area, 25, 5 by 5. 25, correct. And the rectangle area is 20. 10 multiplied by 2 is correct. 100% successful. So we manifested the inheritance and we manifested actually the context of use related to the visibility. I'll pass to task number 2, which is asking us to yes, to refer to the inheritance, let's say, methodology, and we have to use a graph actually. Let me come back and show you the guide again to share with you the graph to make it visible to you. Yes. So this graph here, we are required to refer to it to demonstrate the inheritance, multi-level inheritance, to demonstrate the multi-level inheritance. And he's telling us that the father and mother classes are subclasses from human class. The father is a superclass to myself and my sister. Mother is a superclass to my sister. And both of them, my father, my mother, are subclasses to human class. The question says that. Subclasses to human class. Let's solve. I'm gonna open a new compiler actually. I'll leave that compiler, I'll open a new. Great. Okay, very good. Very good. And here we are required to demonstrate inheritance, multi-level inheritance. Okay, great. It is the same scenario here, yet we have more than one level. So first level is the human, without time wasting. Human. A human actually would have the common features in between all the humans, father, mother, son, sister, whatever. All of them, they are humans. So they inherit from this human class. From the human, the class father or class my father the class my father receives features from So here, initialization actually I'm going to do since they are inherited. I'm going to put them protected to make them be utilized here in this subclass. Simple initialization height equal, let's say, 1.83, for example. Race, I'm going to say white. Let's say race, it's float. No. Race actually it is color. Let's say it is authentic. Let's say I'm going to say string. So I'm going to say here the same, for example, Arabic. It's enough, semicolon. Then the third variable, which is the color, I'm going to say black. I am going to say I color. Yes, equals, let's say, black. Sorry. Let's say black. Semicolon. Good. It's enough. This for the my father. The same. I'm going to utilize for the my mother. For the my mother. This is actually a different method. It is having the same name, but within a different scope. It is belonging to the my mother class. So I'm going to give, for example, here 1.6. I'm going to say Arabic, yes. I'm going to say white. For example, whatever. No, I'm going to say, for example, green. Whatever. Then, for my sister and myself, I'm going to initialize the profile also. I'm going to say my height is 184. I'm going to say black. Whatever. Myself, I'm going to say, no, my sister, I'm going to give, it's a girl, so it would be shorter than that, 65. With black, okay, good. Here I'm 84, for example. As per example. Blue, cut out for the eyes. Whatever. Different values. Good. Since they are procedures, I'm going to add the out statement for all. Cout. With making it simple, just I'm going to say height. Less than. Race is quotation. Race is less than. Race. Eye color is less than. Eye color is less than. I'm going to say eye color less than and that. Okay, so equal. I'm going to add here at the beginning one message to clarify also. I'm going to say less than, sorry. Go on. So height is great. Done. I'm going to copy this statement. Copy. Paste it for all. Since they are the same variables. So nothing to be changed. Paste here. And for myself, last. Great. That's I'm going to instantiate here. Just you have to notice. You have to notice that. For example, from myself, the class myself, it is a subclass from my father, and my father class, it is a subclass from human. Human is the super of the my father, and my father is the super of the myself. We have three levels. This is a multi-level inheritance view. Let's instantiate. I'm going to instantiate only the myself, and the same would be actually similar for the in my system. So myself, I'm going to say obj ms myself. Good. Then through this myself, this obj ms myself, I'm going to reach what? This init profile. Copy, paste, semicolon. Let me test. Let's see. I have errors. The first one. Let's go to the first and see what's the problem. Candidates are human. Is protected. Error float human height is protected. Let me see what's the problem here. Change it to understand where the error is. I'm going to change this one to public to clarify. String does not name a type. Is inaccessible. Yes, so protected. Now let's run. Is protected. Okay, good. Semicolon first of all. Then semicolon. Semicolon. Okay, let's run again. The beginning. Let me highlight and copy all in order to avoid any circumstances of losing them if I want to use another compiler. Protected. Yeah, I know they are protected, so they have to be actually. I'm going to initialize that using a public constructor. Constructor. I'm going to say human. So yes, here we start, and here we. Good. So I'm gonna say, I'm gonna copy paste all of them. Here, copy. Paste. Change the values. So I'm gonna say 82. Say white, black. Okay, good. Plus. This is not the point. Float height is protected. My name is Space. Yes. So I got a clear message here. String does not name a type. So it is the username is std s name. Let's execute. Still. Um, height. The reference to height is ambiguous. Okay, so I'm gonna take out this constructor. Compile. Yes, still height is ambiguous. Means there are actually there are two columns to height. Okay. I'm gonna avoid. I'm gonna just to do so. I'm gonna just call the my father, not myself. My father. Since the my father is the first level, I'm gonna change this one to F, objdf, and here objdf. Come on, F. That's one. Let's execute. I understood what is the error, and I'll fix it step by step. Still, it's ambiguous. I'll avoid the initialization of the sister and the myself, but the father is unique place where we declare the height, race, and eye color. Sorry, we initialized the height, race, and eye color. I'll stop at this level in order to not make the video long, and I'll come back with the second part just in a while. I'll check what is the error first of all. Okay, see you just in a minute.